Warriors, check this out. I'm going to show you a video that's floating around TikTok, around the internet, but I'm also going to show you some extremely bullish news that most people missed yesterday. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world and crypto coach. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Now, Warriors, yesterday was a beautiful, beautiful day to be alive. So Gary Gensler was sitting in front of the Senate getting drilled. This is all political theater, Warriors, but this is coming fast and furious. Now, here's the thing. This is just my opinion. They are so far from getting their shit together. But let's think about this really quickly, okay? You have President Biden, who brought on Gary Gensler, right? Gensler, as the head of the SEC, was the head MIT professor for cryptocurrency. Now, in your I teach you the game, not the exciting stuff or 589 for crypto, blah, blah, blah. I'm teaching you the game, wars. I'm teaching the macro microeconomics. So check this out. Okay. Now Biden has brought on two more people to the CFTC that are also cryptocurrency professors. Now, we thought Gary Gensler was going to be the crypto juggernaut for us. Well, he ended up being a puppet who now has come under the regime and is working to get their fingers in it so they can profit from it. Okay. So now this senator, I see the one part that everybody's showing, but I want you to listen to this part that, floating around the internet right now is the funny part, which is going to be after this statement. Okay. But I want you to listen what he's saying about corporate taxes. So he's going to talk about corporate taxes, and then Gensler is going to say, hey, listen, I'm not a corporate tax professional, right? But listen to what he says about the employees. Do the employees suffer because of the corporate tax? I want you to comment down below, is he referencing how we as the XRP holders are suffering because of what Ripple did? So is this a shot at Gensler for his poor leadership at the SEC around the SEC versus Ripple case? Or is this just straight around corporate taxes? Hidden agenda. Listen to what this guy says, because I think a lot of people miss this statement. And then we'll hear the funny one that he said that's floated around the internet. It actually is a fun morning to play this stuff. Watch. Listen to this.
Who pays corporate income taxes?
So the question you have to ask yourself before he says that, why would he ask the head of the SEC about corporate income taxes? So that's the way my brain works. I'm like, I think he's shooting at him, taking a shot at him about the SEC versus Ripple case. So imagine Ripple is the corporation and we are the employees or the holder of the token. Because why would he ask the head of the SEC a corporate tax question? He's even confused, but I think it's a shot at why the hell did you hurt? You're supposed to protect the investors. Why are you hurting the XRP holders when you have a beef with Ripple?
Senator, it's the corporation that pays the taxes, of course, then ultimately the owners of those corporations are the shareholders.
Corporations just is not a payor. It's a tax collector, isn't it?
Well, I'm not here as an expert on the tax code. I think the corporation.
You're an expert in corporations. I think economists are generally in agreement that the corporation is not a payer; it's a tax collector. The owners and the customers and the workers that Chairman Brown spoke so eloquently about actually pay the tax, don't they?
Well, again, I never want to mince words, but I think that the corporation, of course, is paying, and then the shareholders have less net income.
Don't the workers pay it too?
I think that it's a cost of the corporation. Like all costs of the corporation, those costs compete with each other. Even the cost of real estate.
Do the workers pay it? I'm just trying to. I don't have much time. Sorry about that.
The workers pay individual income tax, workers pay Social Security tax.
I just want to be sure I understand your testimony. Mr. Chairman. You're saying that the workers are not impacted at all by the corporate income tax?
I'm sorry, I thought you were asking a different question. All costs in a company compete with each other, whether it's the real estate costs or any other costs.
Are the workers impacted negatively by corporate income tax? Real simple question.
No, I understand it, but I think it's best as the head of the SEC to leave
You don't want to
debates about taxes to Congress. I really do think that
I
that's
understand why you don't want to answer it. I get it.
Why do you think he doesn't want to answer it? And maybe I'm shooting in the dark here. You guys know me, I go down the rabbit hole, but I think he's shooting at him about the SEC case. I know you don't want to answer it. I know you don't want to answer it because you hurt the shareholders and you're supposed to protect the shareholders. Now, this statement is the one that's floating around the internet. Let's have some fun, Warriors.
Look, I don't mean any disrespect to you. I followed your career. You've had quite a career in public service. You've made a lot of money on Wall Street. I respect that. I honor that. But as to the people and the companies that you regulate as chairman of the SEC, do you consider yourself to be their daddy?
no.
Then why do you act on it?
we'll just leave it right there, Warriors. Do you consider yourself their daddy? This is going to be a meme for years, Warriors. This case is coming to an end. It's coming to an end, Warriors. There's so much pressure on this man right here. What I want you to do is you guys know how I operate. So when I watch these videos, watch the first part of the video. He is shaking. He is nervous. Look at his videos when he went into for confirmation for the SEC chairman and look at him now. He doesn't even look, well, he didn't look healthy before, but his health is declining. You can see there's so much pressure on him right now because I'm sure he probably flipped his narrative when he went in there. Because remember, Warriors, the people in official positions like that, they're just puppets. They're puppets, to get out agenda. Okay, so let's check this out. Some other bullish news here. This is just neat to see, verified influencers out there talking about the SEC case. It's got 428 retweets, 56 quotes, 3,450 likes. But he's talking about breaking one question I have for Jay Clayton and calls him out. Why in your last days in the SEC chair do you put a case like the one against Ripple XRP? Maybe there's a good explanation. I should also point out the government's revolving door is nothing new. So him working for a firm that's invested in competitive cryptocurrencies, i.e. at Ethereum token, isn't illegal. Still, the timing is interesting. Seems like something you punt to a new administration, Steve Mnuchin. Did we radically GSE something development? Basically, I've been talking about this for a long time. So all these influencers big time influencers are catching up to Coach JV. All right, now under the radar, let's talk about some bullish news. So guys, remember I'm an ex-banker, blah, 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 and understand economics. This is bullish, more bullish than that damn Senate hearing. Check this out. Okay, so the way the money goes around, right? Companies sell, right? So like our government, they come back from summer session on October 1st and they have to raise the debt ceiling. If they don't, we can't pay Social Security. We can't pay veterans benefits. So we basically have to raise the debt ceiling, right? So now the way that they do that is buying bonds, right? And the way that companies operate is if they're a riskier company, they sell what's called junk bonds, okay? This is bullish beyond belief, okay? Coinbase junk bonds show crypto really is going mainstream. People are buying Coinbase junk bonds. Junk bonds investor gave cryptocurrencies their biggest endorsement yet as Coinbase Global sold $2 billion of debt. And I'll explain this in just a moment. I'll break this down into from complex to simplistic. Demand was so high, at least 7 billion orders poured in that the crypto behemoth was able to boost the deal size from 1.5 billion, according to a person. knowing the matter. Equal amounts of 7 and 10-year bonds were sold at an interest rate of 3.3, that's the key is the interest rate, and 3.6 respectively, lower than the initial discussed borrowing cost, other people familiar with the situation said. The warm welcome from the fixed income investors shows that cryptocurrency is no longer a sector reserved for the venture capital funding and debt investors, including pension funds and hedge funds, looks to get into the action. Okay. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not just for the venture capital funding, as debt investors, including, so I ran that together, as debt investors, including pension funds and hedge funds, look to get into the action. The strong demand is clearly a big endorsement by debt investors, says Julie Charlie, an analyst at Bloomberg Intelligence. Okay, so why is this important? Why is this important? Okay, MicroStrategies was selling junk bonds to buy Bitcoin, okay, to buy 500 million in Bitcoin. So they're selling junk bonds. Now, what is a junk bond, right? The reason why they call it a junk bond, the name kind of throws you off. It's not really junk. What they're doing is they're riskier companies and they're selling debt to debt investors at a high interest rate. So say I'm a debt investor and you're selling a junk bond. You would come to the open market and I could step in and buy junk bonds from you. I'm going to get a much higher return on my money because it's a riskier company. So the more riskier the company, the junkier the bond. It's not that it's really junk, but to know that debt investors are now getting involved in cryptocurrency companies, that is bullish beyond that. That shows you where the market's going, Warriors. It literally is a signal that says, I'm not surprised more people aren't talking about this. This is a huge, huge bullish signal. They're buying junk bonds from a company that's supposedly going to get sued by the SEC. Think about that. Think about this, Warriors. Ripple is freaking dominating everywhere but America, and a company's they're being sued by the SEC. Think about this. This is all political theater, Warriors. You are invested in the greatest assets in humankind. That's it. Bottom line. You have to be ready, though. You have to have an exit plan. You have. And I had a big interview yesterday, Warriors, and it was beautiful to be interviewed by, and you guys will see it coming out very soon. But it was like, they were asking me, what is it? What is this all? And I was sharing with the person, I'm like, guys, we are accredited investors. All of you guys are accredited investors right now. This will never happen again in our history. So you have the ability to operate like a accredited investor, but you got to start thinking like an accredited investor. You got to have a game plan like a accredited investor. You got to make sure you have an exit strategy, because most people are going to get wrecked. It's going to come crashing back down because we're going to see massive price appreciation here very, very soon, Warriors. I'm talking like we're days away, right? We're probably like 20, maybe not even 20 days away, maybe 10, 15, 16 days away to a parabolic move. Everybody's going to get greedy. They're going to go sliding straight up there. I'm going to get more. You're never going to catch the top. You're never going to catch the bottom. And if you don't have an exit plan, you're going to come sliding down the back end. You're going to get disgruntled. You're going to be stuck in the bear market for 3 years. And as soon as it hits your price target to break even, you're going to get out of the crypto market. And then all of us are going to get really, really rich. I think Crypto Mason said it the best. He said, we're one bear market away from life-changing wealth for all of us who stuck through this. And that's you, Warriors. And if you're just getting into crypto, maybe you're someone who just holds long-term, sets this and forget it. But don't let people fudge you out of this market. Make sure you're in fundamental cryptos too, Warriors. That's very important. You can join the Warrior Academy down below. That's 90% off. You can see access to my portfolio. We have 3 cryptocurrency calls a day. I do a deep dive call on Thursdays. We have subconscious mind programming, goal setting, exit strategy, access to my portfolio, everything you need to be successful. Okay. Now let's check this out. I wanted to show you this and then talk about the El Salvador narrative. Now, BIS officially urges central banks to adopt digital currencies. Now, I brought this up before, but I want you to think about this. The fact that El Salvador is doing the Bitcoin narrative is really, really big. But here's the thing, Warriors. Here's the thing. If countries are having trouble launching a CBDC, do you think that they're going to have an easy time doing the Bitcoin? I mean, I think it's really cool what he's doing because it's putting pressure onto, you got Bahamas that are running on a CBDC. Now, CBDC obviously is very different than a Bitcoin narrative, right? But the thing you have to think about in the narrative that's happening that's pushing the government to move a lot quicker is that El Salvador's great crypto experiment is that what they've done is they are dollarized, right? They operate off our dollar. They don't even have their own currency. So the fact that they're bringing in Bitcoin now, Bitcoin is running alongside the dollar. I think there's such a long, drawn out process to make make Bitcoin overtake the dollar as a full legal tenure for everybody, or the dominant reserve currency, if that makes sense, right? I think there's just such a long runway for that, because think about it. Uh, uh, the 45% of the wealth is tied up with 35% of the population, which is the baby boomers, and they're freaking struggling to use a digital wallet. So really moving them over to this crypto narrative is going to be a lot harder than they think, right? But it shows you how early we are and how long of a runway we have, because that's why the BIS is pushing so hard towards a CBDC, excuse me, because they want everybody to operate on a CBDC. Because if they lose control and a bunch of countries do what El Salvador is doing, they lose complete control of the monetary system. Okay. Or there's another narrative that Bitcoin was invented by them. I don't know. You could go into this whole narrative, but the fact is the billionaires know what's going on, right? That's why Ray Dalio has Bitcoin. That's why Warren Buffett went into New Bank, which is a Bitcoin friendly bank. That's why Jay Clayton went to consult for a cryptocurrency fund. That's why Bill Hinman consults for a cryptocurrency fund. That's why Biden's bringing on these, cryptocurrency experts, quote unquote, from MIT, who are just going to be puppets, who are just going to literally mold the narrative so that they can push us away from cryptocurrency. The whole point of this is you're in a delicate tightrope and amazing race to make sure you're on the right side of the coin when it drops, because it's never going to benefit the people. You understand that, right? It is not going to benefit the people. So they're feverishly trying to act calm on the back end. We're just going to slowly move. We don't need to be first, right? We need to be right. Yeah, but you are literally losing control of your monetary system. So they're behind the scenes biting their nails going, holy crap, how do we keep the people as confused as possible, looking over here at another narrative as we switch the whole narrative over here? That's what's happening, Warriors. They're biting their nails going, we're one rally, we're one warrior going out there, one viral video where people start to go, wait a minute, something's going on here, because it's starting to crack. The monetary system is starting to crack. And the problem is this time for them is that we have something to turn to. That's the problem. Before, you had nothing to turn to, Warriors. You now have a whole sovereign monetary system that you can operate off of. You can be your own bank. You can be your own bank. You can do, you don't need a trusted intermediary anymore. Think about it. It went from hotels to Ubers, or hotels to Airbnbs, taxis to Ubers. Right? You can go to rent a car company, or you can rent a car from somebody on Turo, their own car, right? Now we're going from banks to DeFi. Everything is going to peer-to-peer, Warriors. And they want to figure out how they can control it. Well, how do you control it? You get people to look this way at a pandemic. You push them into their homes, right? You get them using the internet. You get them in fear. And then, well, you're going to have to do all your money online. That's just how you're going to have to do it, right? Well, if you want to survive, okay. And then what you're going to do is you're actually going to run your money through a CBDC, and we're going to give you UBI. We're going to give you universal basic income so you can get your check, so you can survive. But you have to get your check out of a central bank digital currency. Don't worry, it's for you. Whoever creates the problem gets the reaction, controls the people, right? They come up with the solution. It's nothing new under the sun, Warriors. This has been happening in human history forever. Okay. There's always been some sort of monetary power or control. Whoever controls the money, controls the people, controls the information. That's that simple. So you have the opportunity right now, a couple thousand people will watch this, a couple thousand people that can really rise to the top, bring the money back to the people. Unfortunately, there's billions of people in the world, and there's a very small percentage of us. There just is. But here's the thing, Warriors. 1% of the population owns 97% of the wealth. There's 97% of us. Wake up, make decisions, Warriors. But that's how powerful they made money. Money is just energy and vibration. That's all it is. But they gave it power. They gave it meaning. And they're using the meaning to do mean things. Okay. All right, Warriors. So that's all I got for you today. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm kind of whispering just so you guys know. It's been a really, really cool week. We have our Uncommon 1% being. And so I'm in my house filming a bunch of videos. We have our first in-person conference for our private warriors in person. I'm actually anxious about it. It's so cool. We have 40 people coming to our in-person facility, and then we're taking them out for a VIP conference in Sedona. We're staying on a 25-acre property. We'll still be doing all our videos, but you'll see me in different settings. But I'm home, which is cool, filming because the facility's pretty loud. And my daughter's home not feeling well. So we're going to keep rolling, keep going. And that's a cool thing about having a freedom company. I can work wherever the fuck I want. And I want to get you to freedom too. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Warriors, rise. Get your shit together. Join the Warrior Academy by clicking the link down below in the description, and you can get 90% off. I'll see you on this side. Let's go. Get your shit together.